Right. We are in module 5.
Yes sir, module 5
Okay.
हमारी 4 क्लासेस हो चुकी हैं. मॉड्यूल 5 पढ़ना है हमें आज. That's about
O-
vulnerability assessment part. How you can use automation tools to find out the
Okay.
vulnerabilities inside a system, inside a website, inside a mobile application part. To
Mhm.
identify vulnerabilities, first let's start with what is the vulnerability assessment thing. In vulnerability assessment part, you use some automation tool, you use some scripts to find out the vulnerability without directly interacting with this website.
Mhm.
So before starting with these tools, let's understand what is vulnerability assessment life cycle. In life cycle thing, you start with discovery. You identify some kind of vulnerability inside a website, inside a software, inside a mobile application, inside a simple hardware part. But vulnerability assessment lifecycle start with discovery. You identify a vulnerability. It was the first step of vulnerability assessment lifecycle. After discovery, you prioritize that vulnerability. You prioritize the vulnerability on the basis of its CBSS score, the impact of that vulnerability, how impactful the vulnerability was. If it's a critical one, if it's a normal one, if it's a high one, on the basis of their CBSS score, on the basis of their CIA tried, vulnerability was affecting confidentiality, integrity, or availability. On the basis of these things, you prioritize the vulnerability. After prioritization, you create a proper report for your management team. What was the vulnerability? What was the impact of the vulnerability? Who found the vulnerability? When it was found? What was the actual impact of that vulnerability? And what are the different things about that vulnerability? After prioritization, you create a report, and after report, you create, you write, or you suggest some mitigations for that vulnerability. How you can mitigate that vulnerability, right? In remediation part, you suggest some remedies. You suggest some mitigation methods. How you can prevent that vulnerability from affecting your systems. After remedy part, you implement those checks. You release those security updates. You deploy those security updates. After deployment, you verify the vulnerability again. Like what are the checks after implementing those checks? The vulnerability still exists or not? If the vulnerability still exists, then you can again go for these steps: discovery, prioritization, report, and remedies. If the vulnerability still exists after implementing remedies, so you verify those things that after implementing remedies, after implementing security checks, vulnerability was patched or not. After verification, you monitor your system. What was the impact of those security updates over the system? System works perfectly, system works slowly, and what are the impacts of the system? The vulnerability or the patch we released for for that vulnerability was perfectly working or not. So on the basis of the impact, your confidentiality, the vulnerability to identify was affecting confidentiality, integrity, or availability. We gave it a score. We call it simple
Yes.
CVSS score, critical
Okay.
vulnerability scoring system.
Okay.
We have two versions for the CVSS score. First one is version 2.0, which has three categories: low, which range from 0.0 to 3.9; medium, which range 4.0 to 6.9; high, which range 7.0 to 10.0. Other than this version 2, we have version 3, which was generally latestly used, which nowadays websites and most of the companies are using version 3.0. In version 3.0, we have five categories. First one is none. It means some kind of information which is something informational for a hacker, but it's not a vulnerability. That kind of information is under this category, none part. After this informational thing, we have low category from range 0.1 to 3.9, which the impact of that vulnerability was very low. Other than this low category, we have medium category from range 4.0 to 6.9. After this medium category, we have high category from range 7.0 to 8.9. And at last and the most impactful was our critical 9.0 to 10.0. The range for this category, low and medium, is same to this version 2.0, but the high category for this version 2.0 is divided into two parts. First one is high from range 7.0 to 8.9, and critical from 9.0 to 10.0.
Yes.
We have some platforms for CVE part where you can identify or where you can go and check for new or known vulnerabilities. Like what are the latest vulnerability you identify, what other people identify. So let me just copy this one and open my web browser.
Yes.
So enter. This is one of the platforms where you can go and look for new vulnerabilities. So as you can see, for 2020 we have 6101, 2020, 2020, 21. This is one of the latest vulnerability. You can go for 3165, right? On the basis of the sudo
Right.
command. If you remember the sudo command we use in our Linux, sudo, to
Mm-hmm.
execute any command with the sudo permission or you can say super user permissions. We use this command sudo, and this
Yes.
vulnerability 2021-3165 is based on this sudo permission super user. So
Okay.
you can see we have the score as 8.8, which was high score, right?
Yes, sir.
Availability, you can see the values as well. Like vector, you can say attack vector, network, attack complexity, low, privilege is required, low, user interaction, none, scope, unchanged, confidentiality, high, integrity,
Mm-hmm.
again high, availability, again high. Right? So on the
Yes.
basis of these things, your score was calculated. So you can follow these links. You can go on these websites like nvd.nis.gov. Other than this website, we have one more website like cbe.mitre.org. You can follow the same website as well. Just open this website here. Here you can search for CVE numbers. We have two numbers here. First one is CVE, second one is CVSS. I hope you
Mm.
remember the difference between CVE and CVSS and CWE. Three things. CVE, let me just write it here. CVE, CWE, and CVSS. We have three things here. First one is CVE, that stands for Critical Vulnerability Exposure.
Mm.
Therefore, you can say Common Vulnerability Exposure. Our CWE stands for Common Weakness Enumeration. I'll explain you what are the meaning of this.
Okay, sir.
And at last, for CVSS, we have Common Vulnerability Scoring System. Right? So
Right.
CVE is the vulnerability which was identified for a particular software, for a particular version of that software. But what was the vulnerability is our CWE. If I show you here for that nvd.nis.gov, you can see we have a CWE number. Like what
Mm.
was the vulnerability? What was the actual vulnerability? It was on authentication part, it was SQL injection. What was the vulnerability? It was described by CWE number, CWE category, right?
Mm.
For what
Mm.
software, for what version of that software, the vulnerability was identified, was specified with this CVE number,
Mm.
right? And the
Right.
CVSS score is the impact. CVSS score describes the impact of that vulnerability. Simple. Other than this CV, CVSS, and CWE part, let's come back to our one more website that was Exploit DB. We're already aware about that
Mm. We had
website.
used it also, I think.
Yeah, we are using it for a long time.
Yes.
We use this for Google hacking database as well, right? And in our first lecture, I'll explain you the exploit with the help of this website. If I search it for Eternal Blue, I got an exploit here for Windows 7, Windows 8, 2008 servers, and 2012 servers. That was a vulnerability over that SMB service. These are
Right.
simple platforms like ExploitDB, CV Mitre, and nvd.nis.gov, where you can go and look for new known vulnerabilities. Websites, we have some vulnerability scanners which help you to automate the task for identifying vulnerabilities, right? So what these vulnerability scanners can do, let's start with that part. Then we will continue with our scanners, how you
Okay.
can use those scanners. And what are the simple scanners which you can use for free? I'm not going with the paid versions, but you can use these softwares or these scanners for free. Let's start with scanners. What they can
Mm.
do? They can identify the operating system. What was the operating system for that server, for that machine? They identify the versions as well. What was the version of that software? Was the version of that operating system? They can identify the applications installed on that software, installed on that operating system, on that machine. They identify
Mm.
these kind of information like application, they detect their version part and their operating system part. Other than this, they can verify default accounts and the weak passwords for those accounts as well. Like
Oh.
what are the default passwords like admin, root, admin password. These kind of passwords can also be tested with the help of these vulnerability scanners. Other than this accounts and weak password thing, we have missing patches as well. Like if you are using an older version of a software, if you are using an older version for an operating system, these kind of vulnerabilities can also be identified with the help of vulnerability scanners. Other than this missing patches part, weak and misconfigured network and risky ports were also identified with the help of this vulnerability scanner. Like what are the
Oh.
open ports on that server, on that machine? What was the service running on that ports? What was the version of that service? And is it properly configured or not? Right? These are simple functionalities of a vulnerability scanner, what they can do.
Okay.
And at last, we have some scanners like Nmap. You can use some scripts for Nmap like Vuln. These are simple categories. Vuln is a category. If you use this category, all the scripts under this category will be executed for that machine, for that target. So you can use this vuln category, you can use this discovery category, you can use safe category. And if I show you here, we have multiple categories for Nmap, Nmap script categories, and this is my link. You can see these are the categories which you can use, and we have 604 script. You already know about that part. So you can use script for discovery, you can use script for authentication part, for fuzzing part, for malware detection part, for intrusive part, for vulnerability detection part as well, and for version identification as well. Right? So
Right.
you can
Right.
use Nmap, you can use Nessus scanner. Nessus is just a scanner. It's a paid version, it's a free version. You can use both of them if you want. If you want to use a paid version, you have to spend around 2,28,000 for a
Oh.
year. If you want, you can use it for free as well. Other than this Nessus, we have Qualys. This is a simple cloud-based vulnerability scanner. If you want to download, you can download as well. Other than this Nessus and Qualys, we have Crash Test, which you can use over this website. Let's start with this vulnerability scanners, how you can use these scanners. Start with Nessus, how you can download, how you can use Nessus for free. All you have to do is, let me just close these tabs. Yeah, all you have to do is just browse the website for Nessus. You have to register yourself to get a free version. You can register for professional as well. You get a link, you get an activation code for professional part. If I show you here, I have a screenshot for the professional, so I can show you pictures, screenshots. I hope this is a screenshot. Yeah, this is the screenshot which I take today at 7:25, and this is my activation code. To get this
Okay.
activation code, I have used some temporary email address. You can use the same to get activation code. All you have to do is just open the website for temp mails, click on this try here, enter your details like ABC, DEF, DED. For email address, open this temp mail, copy this one, paste this one here, phone number, something like this one, title, something, company name, some or something, company size. Let's go with this one and get started.
Okay.
After some time, 5 or 10 minutes, you get a mail over that link with this confirmation part. Nexus professional team, start your Nexus trial today. You
Okay.
get a link in that activation part. You get a link for activation. When you click on this link, they will direct you to this page. They'll direct you to this page. I am already logged in this website. So after logging, you get this interface or this one. You get this interface that will just show you. You get this interface when you when you click on this activation link. After
Ah,
just all you have to do is click on copy this activation code and download the access for free. To download the Nessus, just browser websites like download Nessus. You get a link to download on the basis of your operating system. You are using Windows, you are using Linux, you are using Red Hat, you are using Amazon part. On the basis of your operating system, you can download your Nessus thing. It's a simple 72 MB file. You can download for 32-bit. If you are using 64-bit operating system, you have to download for this one. Windows Server 2008, Server 2008, Rs, and this thing.
okay.
Right? This is the file for 64-bit at the bottom, and this is the file for 32-bit at the top.
Mm.
Right? So you can download it from here. It's 72 MB file. All you have to do is click on the next to install this file, and it will
Mm.
redirect you to this page: localhost colon slash slash localhost colon 8834. Nessus works on your web browser, right? So after configuration part and all the different things, it will ask you, it will prompt you for this interface. You get this interface when you start or when you install this interface. So when you install Nessus, you get this interface in your browser.
Okay.
If you have an essential license, you can check on this essential. If you have a professional license, you can check on professional and click continue. After this, you have to enter this one. You have to enter this code
Mm.
for your trial version. When you enter this code, it will ask you for username and password. You can create any username and password. So if I just log out here, let me just sign out. After activating this Nessus, you get this interface to log in. Just click on sign in and you get this interface to scan your machine or to start a scan. To create a new scan, just choose this option, create a new scan. And for scanning part, we get these options. You are going for simple host discovery, like what are the active machines in my network. You are going for simple network scanning thing, what are the open ports over that machine, and
Mm.
multiple things we have here. And one of the
Sir,
most popular was shadow broker scan. So after installing all these things, let's start with simple web application testing part. We're going to test the web application here. So all you have to do is write a name for your test. Let's go with Craw Security here. You can, if you want to add, you can add description here. What kind of scan you want to add, or or in which folder you want to add that scan. Simply choose the folder and assign a target. If you're targeting a website, then you can add a domain name here like pro.in. If you want to, you want, if you're targeting a machine, then you can add a IP address as well, like 1.1.1.15 as well. If you have a domain, then you can add a domain. If you have IP address, then you can add a IP address as well. You can scan multiple targets in a single time. So all you have to do is just write the domain name here, like crowsecurity.com. You can scan multiple targets at a single go as well. If you want to add a file which contain all your targets, then you can add a file as well. Just select a file which contain your target list. Simple txt file will work. So after this simple general setting part, if you want to schedule your scan, then you can schedule your scan. frequency. If you want to daily scan the application part, you can go for daily scanning. At what time you want to scan, for the time zone, simple India and other different locations we have, and repetitive part, right? And you want to repeat your scan after 2 days, every day, after 4 days, 5 days, and simple thing. If you want to schedule your scan, you can also schedule your scan. And at last, you have notification thing. You want a notification for that scan, your scan complete, your what kind of vulnerability your scan found, what kind of vulnerability you identify for that application part. These are just simple basic settings. It's coming back to discovery part. If you come in discovery, you can see we have some port settings, like how many ports you want to scan. If you want to scan for simple common ports, you are scanning for simple all the ports, or for all 65536 ports we have, or for all 65535 ports we have, right? After discovery, there's some assessment thing. You are looking for simple normal web applications. You're looking for complex scannings. You're looking for all OWASP top 10. You are looking for all the complex or all the well-known vulnerabilities for that web application part. So you can go for simple quick scan, you can go for simple complex scan, or you can go for custom scans as well. Let's go with complex scan. The point here is complex scan will take some time. If you are going for quick scan, you will easily get a quick report for that scan, right?
Okay.
But if you want a deep scan, you can go for complex scans. After assessment, we have report part, how you want to report, what kind of report you want. You want a detailed report and all other different thing for report. In advance, just scan types. You have a low bandwidth and other different thing about this part, scan techniques. After this, if you have some credentials for your HTTP login password, you can add your credentials as well. You can add your login, you will add your username, your password, login page name, your page address, and multiple different about credential things. And at last, all you have to do is save this one. I'm not creating this one, so cancel. Let me just create a new one. Sorry for that thing. So Craw Security, description, nothing, folder, my scan, targets, Craw.in, Craw Security, crawsec.com. Let's go with one more, like Microsoft. What happened? Sorry. So coming back, what was happening for Craw Security? Description, nothing, folder, Craw.in, targets, one more, crawsec.com, one more. Let's go with Microsoft.com. You can scan multiple targets in a single go as well, right? If you want live results, you can check on this box for live results. Discovery, I want all the ports. Assessment part, I want a complex web application scanning. Report, I'm not changing anything here. In advance, I'm not changing anything here, right?
Mm.
So click
Right.
on the save button to launch your scan. After creating, all you have to do is just click on this button to launch your scan, right? So this will take some time. So as in the meantime, when the Nexus was running in the background, let's go with one more scanner. That was our Nessus. After Nessus, let's go with Qualys.
Okay.
So to use this Qualys, I have used the same temporary email address to register for Qualys. Let me just show you how you can register for Qualys. Just open the website for Qualys. This is the official website for Qualys. You can try the cloud platform for free. Just click on this one. Enter your name, ABC, detail, last name, DEF, work email address, ABC, abc@gmail.com, company email preferred, okay, abc@abc.com, company name, ABC, already have account, no, and
Mhm.
next. Job title, nothing. Phone
Nothing.
number, 10 times 8. Company name, Afghanistan. So you can check these things if you want. Let's go with enterprise and create an account. After this, they will send you a confirmation mail with your details. Like I got here, Qualys registration, start now. In this mail, you get a username and you get a link to create your password. Right? They will ask you for code or OTP key. Let me just
Mm.
open this one in a new tab. Validate activation OTP. So just copy this OTP here and paste it and submit. OTP is expired and no longer valid. Please resend new. Resend and let's wait for the new OTP. I got a new activation mail.
Mm.
So here I have a new OTP here. We open this activation link and this OTP copy and paste and submit. Don't save. I have a username and I got a password. Let me just copy this password, copy and open this URL to login. Asking for login. Let me copy this username from here. Username paste and password. Simple login. Let me save these credentials out here. Enter this one here. After validating your username and password, you get this interface, your personal details. If you want, you can change these values, right? Then just check on this box and click on this I agree button here.
Mm.
Address field and zone field. Okay, so enter these values, something you want. Address, blah blah, and I agree.
Mm.
So this is the interface for Qualys you get. This will prompt you to change your password. I'm just using the same password and save here. You can change your password.
Okay.
Just close it. If you are want to scan a website, so I have to log in again. Save. If you want to scan a website, we have a drag drop button here. Just choose the application scanning part from here. So choose this one. You get this interface. You get this interface here. Right?
Mm.
Before scanning, all you have to do is add a website for scan. You have to add your target. This will prompt you for some blah blah. So to start your scan, create new web application. I have existing assets. So click on existing. You don't have anything here. So just click on a blank. So name, let's go with Craw Security. Target, let's go with Craw.in. Right? If you want, you can give the custom attributes as well and just click on continue. Scope and target. What kind of crawling you want to perform? Limit at below URL host name. You want kind of crawlings, you can choose this one as well. If you want subdomains, you want host names, you want subdirectories, you can choose this value, right? So I'm going with the
Right.
default. If you want to scan for their APIs, you want to import the APIs from Swagger, if you want to import the APIs from Burp Suite or Burp Proxy Capture History part, you can add these values from here.
Mm.
After this, just click on next button. And if you, after this, just scan this type of scan. You are looking for authentication part, you are looking for initial web application scanning options. So I'm going with WAS options. What kind of scanners you want to use? You want to use scanners over the server you have the scanners, then you can use individual and specify the scanner name, right? I'm using external servers located on the server part to use this external option. If you want to cancel the scan, we have some cancellation option as well. Cancel scan after 1 hour, 2 hour, and other different options we have. Or you can specify time as well. Like when you want to cancel the scan at 10 p.m., at 20 p.m., right? So I don't want to cancel the scan. If you want to crawl sub directories, you can crawl from robots.txt as well and sitemap.xml files as well, right? If you want, you can check these values. And last, we have some header injections. If you want to perform some injection over the header, like direct आपका host we have. So if you want to inject some values over the header or on the headers, you can assign values here. After this, simply click on continue. If you want to add some Selenium scripts, perform some testing part, you can add some scripts here and just click on next. If you want to exclude some links or if you have some redundant web pages on a single website, like if I have a page on abc slash xyz and if I have the same page on abc slash def, right? You can exclude those domains. You can specify those redundant links here. And after that, just click on continue. If you want to authenticate, if you want the vulnerability scanner to use your credentials, your username and password to authenticate and scan for in-depth authentication part, you can specify or you can create your authentication records, right?
mm,
Just click on this click button or this create button and you can add these values here. And at last, continue. If you want to exclude a directory, if you want to exclude a subdomain for scanning, you can exclude it from here. Just click on add exclusion and you can exclude URLs as well, right? I'm not going to exclude anything here. So just click on continue. If you have a private DNS, right, you can use the private DNS as well. So you just have to create a DNS and just enter the DNS details here. And at last, continue malware monitoring part. If you want to monitor your server, monitor your website for malware, you can monitor your malwares as well. You can go with the currencies, you have launch dates and other different things. So I'm not going to monitor my website or malware part. I'm just unchecking this one and you can continue at last. To add your comments, you can add your comments from here like something simple, right? And at last, continue, review your settings, review your options and finish the scan. If you want to execute the scan with a sync at the same time, just click on this button, finish and scan. Discovery and vulnerability, I go with vulnerability,
mm,
right? This will launch a scan window or a launch window for you. So scan name, this is your simple scan name. If you want, you can change this one. You can choose your target and just continue from here. What kind of scan you want? Simple WAS option we have. If you specify the authentication part, you can choose your authentications from here. You can choose scanners. You can cancel your scan and you can go for the email notifications as well. Same options
mm,
we have here again. Simple finish, review your setting, review your options, and click on finish. So this will use the resources over the server or the cloud to scan your website for non-vulnerabilities. On this tab, you can see we have a running scan for this web application craw.in
mm,
or website craw.in. Right? Other than this Qualys and Nessus, we have one more scan. We have one more scanner that was our crash test. So just search on the Google for crash test security. You get a domain here, crashtest-security.com. Just open this one. All you have to do is start 2 week free trial. Register yourself for the free trial here. Email address, I'm using this one. My temporary email address I have. Just copy this and paste it here. Next, this will prompt you for your first name and last name. So I'm going with
mm,
something random, ABC and DEF. Simple next. Password. I just pasted the email address here. One uppercase
Hmm.
letter. Okay, one uppercase letter. Done. And just click on next. Ask you for mobile number. You can choose anything here. I'm
Hmm.
going with something like this one and click on finish. This will send you a confirmation mail to your email address. So let's see. I have an email address or not. Here we get a confirmation mail here from Crash Test Security. Just open this mail to confirm your account or to activate your account. Click on the button here to activate your account. Just I'm opening this link in the same tab. This will take me to their dashboard and it will take a minute. This is the simple dashboard for Crash Test Security. The point with
Hmm.
Crash Test is if you own the domain, if you are scanning your own domain, then you can scan for known vulnerabilities as well. But if you are scanning a domain which is not owned by you, you are not the owner for that domain. And if you are
Hmm.
scanning someone else's domain, then you can only go for limited things like open ports and SSL certificate, right? So let me just show you how you can use this crash test security. Just click on this button, create a new scan target. So if you have a API, you can go for API testing. If you have a web application, just go for this web application part. Click on continue. Multiple pages, JavaScript application. I am going with multiple pages here and continue. Title, let's go with Craw Security. Description, testing website. Protocol, you are using HTTP or your website is using HTTPS. That's the thing. URL, raw.in and continue. Now, this was the main thing here. If you own the domain, you can scan for these known vulnerabilities. For information gathering part, for their certificates, for their open port, for SQL injection, for cross-site scripting, CSRF, buzzers, file inclusion or file directory traversal vulnerabilities, for deserialization, for XXE, and for command execution, for command injections as well. But if you don't own the domain, you can only go for limited things like fingerprinting, certificates, and open ports, right? So I can only scan this one here. Just click on this button, create, and at last you can start your scan. This is our crash test. If you own the domain, you can search or you can scan the vulnerabilities as well. If you don't own the domain, you can only go for open port scanning or certificates part.